The sky over Earth had always belonged to clouds, birds, and airplanes. One calm night, something new appeared. A silver oval ship, as smooth as water, slipped into low orbit without sound. It shone like moonlight, but moved with purpose, gliding from horizon to horizon in minutes. Cameras on every continent caught the sight.
Television screens filled with breaking news banners.
People stopped in streets, offices, and living rooms, staring upward or at glowing phones. No one, not even the most creative science fiction writer, had imagined a ship arriving so quietly and so boldly at once. Governments reacted first with fear, then with order. Fighter jets shadowed the craft, but held a respectful distance. Their pilots reported no weapons, no threat displays, radar showed. The ship hovering exactly 50 kilometers above the Atlantic Ocean, holding position like a patient teacher. The United Nations Security Council called an emergency session before dawn. By sunrise, every major leader joined the video call. They needed a plan that used calm minds, not shaking hands. Across the ocean, in a small apartment in Geneva, Dr. Adam Rain woke to the alarm on his old tablet. He was 32, tall but slightly hunched from years of reading. And known for one strange talent, he could learn languages faster than most people learned song lyrics. Adam rubbed his eyes, saw the news headline, and blinked twice. His heart leaped with excitement and worry mixed together, like coffee stirred with sparkling water. He was a linguist, not a soldier, yet his phone already held 3 missed calls from the UN Office of Extraterrestrial Studies. Adam dressed in his simplest suit, combed his brown hair, and stepped into the dawn air. Life was about to change. The oval ship opened its lower half like a blooming flower at noon. A ramp of pale metal unfolded, stopping just above the waves. From inside stepped a single-figure lender, graceful and not human. She was young by the look of her smooth violet skin and large silver eyes. A soft cloak of shimmering white cloth floated behind her. Around her head, a faint ring of blue light shimmered like a quiet crown, vanishing when she blinked. Cameras zoomed in. Spectators gasped. She carried no weapon, only a crystal sphere the size of an apple. She raised the sphere, and the world heard her voice directly in their minds, clear as fresh water. Greetings, people of Earth. I am Zalera of the Sarai. I come in peace to learn about your feelings. Millions heard the same sentence at the same moment, in their own languages, inside their own thoughts. Some fainted from surprise. Many shouted in amazement. A few whispered prayers. Telepathy was no longer theory, it was standing on a ramp. Above the Atlantic, the UN decided to send a single envoy first. Someone calm, curious, and trained in cross-cultural talk. All eyes turned to Dr. Adam Rain. His colleagues teased that he could charm an argument out of a stone. Now he would charm an alien. A fast helicopter carried Adam to an aircraft carrier positioned under the hovering ship. The sea below looked dark and patient, like an old secret. Wind from the rotors whipped Adam's jacket, but his thoughts spun faster. He practiced polite greetings in English, French, and Swahili, then laughed at himself. She speaks directly into minds. Not matter, he realized. Still he prepared. Preparation was comfort. On the flight deck, soldiers formed 2 lines leading to a small, clean meeting area. Just a circle of white paint and a metal table with a blue UN flag. Adam stepped forward, ears ringing with helicopter echoes and his own heartbeat. The silver ship moved closer until it covered the deck in a cool shadow. A column of light extended downward, bright but gentle. Zalera descended inside the beam, her cloak fluttering like quiet music. When her boots touched steel, the light faded. Sailors' jaws dropped. Cameras rolled. Adam took a breath and walked 3 measured steps. He placed his hand over his heart, an informal greeting of sincerity he had used in many cultures. Zalera tilted her head, curious. Her silver eyes shimmered. Adam spoke aloud, keeping his voice steady. Welcome to Earth, Zalera of the Sarai. I am Dr. Adam Rain. We are honored. Zalera's lips curved into a small, warm smile. But before Adam could continue, a ripple moved across the space between them. Invisible, yet powerful. Adam felt a gentle tickle in his mind, like a curious child flipping pages in his diary. Memories flashed: favorite childhood cartoons, a high school crush, silly daydreams about being a heroic explorer, and yes, the harmless, goofy fantasies every adult hides in quiet corners of thought. He tried to block them, but the ripple was already there. Zalara's eyes widened, not in shock, but in delight. She seemed to taste every flavor of his imagination, sorting each one like bright shells on a beach. Adam's cheeks burned. 1,000 viewers on live feeds saw nothing unusual, only to people standing quietly. Inside Adam's head, panic sprinted in circles. He wondered what Zalara understood, what she judged, what she would say. The ripple faded as gently as it began. Zalara spoke with her actual voice now, soft and musical. "Your mind is vibrant, Doctor. Full of colors I have never seen." She tapped the crystal sphere, and its core glowed briefly. "Forgive me. I did not mean to read so deeply. Scifi's senses are sometimes ... enthusiastic." Adam blinked, forcing a smile. "No harm done," he managed, though his ears still felt hot. He reminded himself that thoughts, even embarrassing ones, were not crimes. He was here to be honest, a bridge, not a wall. He cleared his throat. "We welcome your study of human feelings. We have many emotions, joy, fear, hope, and thousands of stories. We will share if you will also share your wisdom." Zalara nodded. "That is fair exchange." She glanced toward the watching sailors and cameras. "Shall we sit and begin?" They moved to the table under the wide blue sky. Wind carried salt and possibility. Soldiers relaxed slightly. Some even smiled. The first official dialogue between Earth and the stars started with 2 chairs, flag, and the lingering blush on one linguist's face. High above, unseen satellites recorded every heartbeat of the moment. Around the world, people exhaled. Realizing they had held their breath, hope replaced fear like sunrise pushing back night, and in the secret space of one young alien's mind, a quiet thought formed. Humans are wonderfully strange. This will be an adventure. The afternoon sun slid westward, while the ocean rolled on, steady and deep, on one of humanity's newest. Chapter had begun, not with thunder, but with an awkward smile and an open mind. Zalara sat calmly across from Dr. Adam Rain. The soft breeze touched her white cloak as the two talked beneath the wide blue sky. Round them, soldiers stood at attention, but none dared interrupt. Cameras recorded every second. People across the world watched the conversation with full attention. No one wanted to miss history being made. Adam tried to stay focused, but his mind kept jumping around. He knew Zalara had read his thoughts earlier. Not all of them were serious or intelligent. Some were strange, silly, or simply private. Humans often thought in random ways. That was normal for humans. But what did she think? So Adam said carefully, "Your people, you all can read minds?" Zalara nodded slowly. "Yes, but we do not always go deep. Only if someone is open." "Your thoughts were loud." Adam blinked. Loud. She tilted her head. Like music that plays itself, full of color. Sometimes strange, but very alive. Adam felt embarrassed again. Looked down, pretending to adjust his tie. "I see. Well, our minds wander sometimes. We imagine things. Not all of it means something serious." Zalara smiled, calm and amused. "That is what makes humans special. Imagine freely. The Scifi are careful thinkers. Speak with minds, but not with dreams." A pause hung in the air. Adam took a breath. "Did you see the dream with the spaceship race? That was from a comic book I read as a kid." "Yes, it was exciting. But I also saw your hope, your wish that one day humans could fly among the stars too." He smiled softly. "That part's true." The conversation continued, shifting toward other topics. Zalara asked questions about Earth's cultures. She wanted to know about emotions like laughter, love, jealousy, and bravery. Adam explained the difference between a joke and sarcasm. He told her why humans cry when they're happy and scream during sports. Zalara listened like a student learning about fire for the first time. "Your emotions are powerful," she said. "We Scifi often keep our feelings inside, but you let yours shape the world." "Well," Adam replied, "sometimes they shape too much. Wars, arguments, even mistakes. But emotions also bring art, music, and kindness. We're still learning to balance them." As they spoke, the ship above hovered silently. Its presence was now comforting to the soldiers nearby. A few even smiled when Zalera looked at them. In the following days, Zalera was invited to speak at a special world event. The UN held a peaceful summit to welcome her. She stood before world leaders and scientists in Geneva, floating gently above the stage, thanks to her anti-gravity boots. With Adam by her side, she shared her reason for visiting Earth. "I was sent to learn if humans could live with open thoughts, if you could handle minds without walls. Your species is young, but your hearts are loud and warm. We are curious. We want to understand." Reporters asked many questions. Most were serious about her people's history, science, and telepathic powers. But one reporter from a comedy news show jokingly asked, "Did you see anything weird inside Dr. Adam's mind?" The crowd laughed. Adam's eyes widened. Zalera just smirked. "Yes," she said. "Very weird, but interesting." She looked at Adam. "Do not worry. He is harmless." More laughter followed. Adam tried to laugh too, but inside he was red as a tomato. Later, that evening, in a private lab filled with books and holograms, Adam finally spoke what was on his mind. "You didn't have to say that in public." Zalera looked up from a glowing map of the galaxy. "Say what? That I'm weird?" She smiled kindly. It was a compliment, really. "Yes. Among Sarai, weird means curious, original, and alive. You are not broken, Adam. You are blooming." He blinked. "Well, thank you, I think." She floated closer. "Do not hide your thoughts. I already saw them, and I stayed." That line struck him. He wasn't sure what it meant exactly, but it felt important. In the following days, Zalera and Adam spent more time together. She visited museums, schools, and even a music concert. Each time she asked deep questions. Why do humans clap when they're happy? Why do people smile when nervous? Why do children laugh at nonsense? Adam enjoyed answering, but he also noticed something else. Wherever Zalera went, people became calm, even joyful. It was like her presence softened fear. She also continued teasing Adam lightly, not in a mean way, but with quiet humor. Sometimes she would tilt her head and say, "Your brain is running again. What are you imagining now?" Adam would wave his hand and say nothing, just science things. She never pressed, only smiled. One evening, the stars filled the sky, and both sat on the deck of the UN research ship. Zalera asked one last question. "Why do you fear your own thoughts, Adam?" He looked up at the stars. "Because they don't always make sense, and I don't want people to judge me before I speak." Zalera looked at him with soft eyes. "But your thoughts are you. If we cannot accept your mind, we cannot truly know your kind." He nodded slowly. Her words stayed with him. As the ship rocked gently on the sea and the stars watched from above, one thing became clear. This alien girl, with her strange powers and calm smile, didn't just want to learn about humanity. She wanted to understand it from the inside. And for Adam, it was no longer just a mission. It was the beginning of something more. Days passed, and Zalera's presence on Earth became normal for many people. News channels followed her everywhere. Children in schools made drawings of her ship. Artists painted her floating above city skylines. Some even called her Star Girl. But for Dr. Adam Rain, life had changed in a very personal way. He was no longer just a linguist. Now, he was Earth's main link to a telepathic alien. Every day. Zalera asked new questions. How do humans feel love and jealousy at the same time? Why do humans cry when they are angry, even though tears are for sadness? What does it mean when someone lies to protect someone else? Adam did his best to answer, but sometimes even he didn't fully understand human emotions. Still, he enjoyed her curiosity. Her voice was always calm, her silver eyes always searching. Listened more than she spoke. When she didn't understand something, she would touch the crystal sphere she carried and replay a memory from Adam's mind to study it again. One afternoon, they sat in a quiet room inside a UN science facility. A soft light glowed above. Zalera was watching a memory Adam had shared of a human wedding. She saw music, dancing, laughter, nervous families, and two people promising forever. "This is love?" she asked. "It's one kind," Adam replied. "Not all love is romantic, but yes. No. That kind of love is about trust, connection, and wanting someone to stay." Zalara nodded. "It is very loud, not in sound, but in feeling." She looked deep, in thought, and suddenly her lips curved in that now familiar smirk. "I also saw your memory from the same day," she said. "You were thinking about the food more than the ceremony." Adam groaned and rubbed his face. "You weren't supposed to see that part, but I did," she said playfully. "You were dreaming about chocolate cake during the vows." He chuckled. "Humans get hungry at strange times. That's normal." "Yes," she said. "Very human." Their bond had grown stronger, built on honesty, humor, and shared learning. Adam was no longer nervous around her. He had stopped hiding his thoughts. He realized Zalara never laughed at him, only with him. She found joy in human thinking, even when it was random or silly. But while they learned and laughed, something was happening far away in the stars, in the deep black of space. A signal was sent, not from the Sarai, not from Earth, but from another alien, the Tharnox. The Tharnox had watched Zalara's mission with great suspicion. They did not believe in peace through understanding. They believed in control. They feared what would happen if humans and Sci-Fi became allies. "They are unpredictable," said the Tharnox commander. "Their minds are unstable. They dream. They hope, they rebel, and they multiply too fast. If the Sarai guide them, they will rise too quickly." The Tharnox Council agreed. Earth must not be trusted. The mission must be stopped. If Zalara would not return, she would be removed. Quietly, permanently. Back on Earth, Zalara and Adam were invited to the International Science and Peace Forum in Tokyo. Leaders, scientists, and thinkers from every continent gathered to celebrate the growing friendship between Earth and the stars. Zalara gave a speech about connection. "Telepathy is not only about knowing thoughts," she said. "It is about understanding someone without fear. Your minds are different from ours, but difference is not danger." The crowd clapped. Adam smiled beside her, felt proud. Just for her, but for all of Earth. Humanity had made a good first impression. But that night, Zalara felt something strange. As she stood on a hotel balcony watching the city lights, she closed her eyes. Her mind reached outward farther than the sky, to the edge of space. She sensed pressure, not physical, mental, dark. Cold thoughts moving toward Earth. "Something is coming," she whispered. Adam stepped beside her. "What is it?" She looked at him. Not a ship. A warning. Minds that do not wish to talk. Adam frowned. "Enemies. Not yours. Not yet. But they fear you." The next morning, Zalara called an emergency meeting with Earth's Science Council. "We must prepare," she said. "The Tharnox may come. They do not like change. They do not trust free minds." The scientists looked worried. "But how do we defend ourselves?" one asked. "We don't have space weapons. We only just made contact." Adam stood. "We defend ourselves by being smart, by staying united. That's our real power." Zalara nodded. "Yes, they will expect fear. They will not expect calm." Adam spent the next few days helping Earth's leaders share information and send peaceful signals into space. He also helped Zalara send a message to the Sarai, asking for support. Still, he knew if the Tharnox came too fast, they would be alone. One night, as they walked through a quiet park near the UN building, Zalara turned. "To Adam, are you afraid?" "A little," he admitted. "But not of them. I'm afraid we'll mess this up, that we'll panic or divide." "You won't," she said gently. "You are strange, but you are strong. You laugh in chaos. That's rare." He smiled. "So, we're brave because we're weird?" "Yes," she said. "Not. And that might save you." They sat on a bench. Surrounded by trees and stars, Zalara looked up. "We don't need to fight with fire. We can fight with understanding. But only if we do it together." Adam nodded. "Then we start tomorrow." one mind at a time. Above them, satellites blinked beyond. Them stars waited, and somewhere in the dark, the Tharnuk ships began to move. Earth's true test was about to begin. It was a cold morning in Geneva when Adam entered the communication lab. Screens lined every wall, showing star maps, energy readings, and symbols in alien languages. Zalera stood in front of one screen, her eyes focused, her mind deep in thought. She turned as Adam walked in. They are coming closer. Adam didn't need to ask who they were. The Tharnuks. She nodded. For ships, no signals, no greetings, just silence and speed. Adam felt his stomach twist. How long before they reach us? 2 days? Maybe less. The room became quiet. The silence was heavy. Zalera spoke again, her voice soft but serious. It's time I tell you the real reason I came here. Adam looked at her with surprise. You haven't already? She shook her head. Part of it, yes, but not all. She walked to the center of the room and held up her crystal sphere. It glowed softly. The Sarai Council sent me not just to learn about humans, but to test them. We wanted to see if your kind could live peacefully with minds like ours. Adam stepped closer. What kind of test? Zalera touched the sphere, and it displayed an image map of the galaxy, with Earth marked in blue and other planets marked. In red, many alien species fear telepathy. They fear that open minds will lead to chaos or worse, control. But the Sci-Fi believe in trust. We believe some species are ready. We hoped humans were. Adam's voice dropped to a whisper. And if we failed? Zalera's silver eyes met his. Then Earth would be left alone, but not contacted again, not for a long time. Adam felt a chill. The world had come so close to being ignored by the stars, so close to losing the future. But we didn't fail, he said. Right. Zalera smiled gently. No, you passed the first step. You showed curiosity, not fear. Honesty, not hate. You opened your minds to me. And I stayed. Adam looked down. What about the Tharnuks? They don't care about our test. No, she said. They want to stop it. They fear that if humans grow strong, they will change the balance. The Tharnuks like control. They hate minds they cannot predict. Adam sighed. Then we need to act. Earth must know the truth. That afternoon, Adam stood before the United Nations once more. Cameras flashed. Reporters leaned forward. His voice was calm but firm. People of Earth, he began, this is not just a visit. It is a turning point. We have been tested not with weapons, but with trust. And now, new challenge is coming. He explained the threat of the Tharnuks. He told them about Zalera's true mission. He didn't hide the danger. But then he added, we will not meet fear with fear. We'll meet it with unity, with reason, with strength of spirit. Around the world, his words were repeated, shared. Translated, people watched on screens, in schools, homes, and public squares. Some were scared, but many nodded. Many stood together. Zalera watched the broadcast with quiet pride. He is more Sarai than he knows. She said to herself. The next step was preparation. Earth's leaders worked fast, not with weapons, but with ideas. Scientists built a signal tower that could send peaceful messages in deep space frequency. Artists and thinkers helped write a message full of Earth's music, languages, laughter, and hope. Zalera helped translate it into patterns the Tharnuks could understand. When the signal was ready, Adam and Zalera stood on the launch platform. Ready? He asked. She nodded. Send your heart. Adam pressed the button. The message shot into space, a golden beam of thought and light, carrying Earth's voice beyond the sky. Now they could only wait. That night, Zalera and Adam stood on the roof of the UN building, looking up. The Tharnuks might not care about our signal, Adam said. They might not. Zalera agreed. But we tried, he added, and we didn't hide. She looked at him. That matters. Suddenly, a blue light blinked across the stars. Zalera's eyes widened. She touched her sphere. It's a reply. Adam leaned forward. From the Tharnox? No, she said slowly. From the Sarai. She closed her eyes, reading the message. Her face changed serious, then calm, then hopeful. They are sending help, she said. A ship of peacekeepers. They will arrive soon. Adam exhaled. So we're not alone. No, Zalera said, not anymore, but even with help. Coming Earth had to stand its ground. People were ready not with lasers or bombs, but with minds open and steady. In schools, children made messages of peace in drawings and songs. In cities, artists painted murals of humans and aliens shaking hands. In villages, elders told stories of courage and understanding, and on a quiet night, across the black sky, the Tharnic ships arrived. They did not attack. They stopped in orbit. They watched, and then they sent a message. It was short. Zalera read. It allowed, "We are listening." Adam smiled. Then let's speak. And so began Earth's most important conversation, not with shouting, but with sharing. The future was no longer just about survival. It was about connection, and the mind so strange, so wild, so human was finally ready to touch the stars. The Tharnox ships floated above Earth, silent and still. They didn't send threats or greetings, just silence. The world watched the sky with mixed feelings, fear, curiosity, and hope. In the United Nations Command Center, the air felt heavy. Scientists, military leaders, and diplomats waited for something to happen. Adam Raines stood near the center table, his hands gripping the edge. Zalera floated nearby, calm but alert. Her eyes stayed fixed on the screen showing the alien ships. Why? Are they waiting? Adam asked. They are watching, Zalera replied. They want to see how Earth reacts. If you panic, they will act with force. But if you stay calm, they might listen. Adam looked around the room. He saw worried faces, shaking hands, and people whispering in corners. But he also saw strengths people standing together, trying to solve a problem instead of running from. Idachi Lara turned to Adam. It is time to show them what you are. Adam frowned. How? What can I do that changes anything? You don't need weapons, she said. You have your thoughts. Share them. Adam took a deep breath. Then, he nodded. Lara held out her crystal sphere. Are you ready to join minds? Adam hesitated. Will it hurt? No, she said softly. But it will open everything. I will see your truth, and you will see mine. Adam nodded slowly. Do it. He placed his hand on the sphere. A soft light wrapped around them like a warm breeze. Suddenly, everything changed. Adam's eyes closed. But he was not blind. He stood in a wide space of light and color, a mental landscape, built from memories, emotions, and thoughts. He saw himself as a boy, reading books under a blanket. He saw moments of joy, fear, and confusion. He saw his parents, old teachers, best friends, and lonely nights. He saw dreams of space, of peace, of adventure. Zalera stood beside him, not as a hologram, but as her true self. She opened her mind. And Adam saw her memories too. He saw the Sarai homeworld, tall crystal towers, floating gardens, and skies full of blue stars. He saw young Sarai, learning telepathy through music and meditation. He saw moments of love and laughter, but he also saw sadness. Zalera had once tried to share her mind with another alien race. They rejected her, called her dangerous, closed their minds in fear. I had never forgotten that pain. I was afraid you would do the same, she said. Quietly, but I didn't, Adam replied. No, you welcomed me. Even when you were embarrassed, he smiled. I still am. She laughed. That makes it real. Then, something new happened. Their minds blended not as two stories, but as one. They saw Earth from above, its oceans, cities, mountains, and voices. They saw people being kind to strangers, children helping animals, old friends forgiving each other. They also saw mistakes, wars, and fear. But more than anything, they saw possibility. Adam whispered, Show this to the Tharnox. I already am, Zalera said. In space. Inside the Tharnax command ship, the leaders of the alien race saw something strange. Their monitors showed not maps or codes, but emotions, honesty, creativity, and a strange power called hope. The Tharnax. Leader narrowed his eyes. This is the human's mind? Yes, Zalara's voice echoed in their heads. This is what they are. The Tharnax hesitated. This wasn't what they expected. They had expected anger, fear, and disorder. Instead, they saw unity, humor, and dreams. It was confusing, but it was real. On Earth, the telepathic connection ended slowly. Adam opened his eyes, felt tired. But light as if he had let go of a weight he didn't know he was carrying, Zalara placed the sphere back into its case. You did well? Adam smiled weakly. I feel like I ran a mental marathon. You shared your world. That is rare. Just then, a voice echoed in the room. It was not human. It came from the main screen. This is the Tharnax command. It said, We have received your mind sharing. We understand now. The entire room froze. The voice continued. You are not what we feared. You are dangerous. Yes, but not because of weapons. It's because of what you believe. Adam stepped forward. What do we believe? That freedom is power. Thoughts should be shared, not controlled. This idea is new to us. There was a pause. Then the voice said, We will not attack. We will watch, and we will consider. Change. The message ended. Cheers broke out in the control room. People hugged, laughed, and wiped tears from their eyes. Humanity had faced a test, not of strength, but of spirit and past. Later, Adam and Zalara stood outside on the open roof. The sun was setting. The sky was gold and purple. You did it, Zalara said. No, Adam replied. We did. They watched as the Tharnax ships slowly turned away, heading back into deep space. Above them, a second group of ships approached sleek and silver. The Sci-Fi peacekeepers, Zalara said. They have come to help build the bridge between us and the stars, Adam asked. Yes, and between each other. She turned to him. You've done something rare, Adam. You didn't just explain your world. You let someone feel it. That's true communication. Adam looked at her. So what happens now? Zalara smiled. And now, we prepare for the future. Together. Above them, the stars blinked in quiet approval, and Earth, once a lonely blue planet, had taken its first real step into the galactic family, not with force, but with trust. A new dawn rose over Earth, golden light spreading across cities and oceans. The world was quiet, not because of fear, but because something had changed. For the first time in history, humans had made peaceful contact with two alien races, Sarai and the Tharnax. And they had passed the test not with power, but with peace. Inside the UN Peace Hall, leaders, scientists, and media teams gathered once more. The mood was calm, hopeful, and full of energy. Flags of every country lined the walls. In the center stood a clear platform, where two figures now walked side by side, Dr. Adam Rain and Zalara of the Sci-Fi. Zalara wore a new cloak. This one woven with soft light. It shimmered like a river under moonlight. Adam, in his usual dark jacket, looked both tired and proud. Together, they had helped write a new chapter for humanity. Cameras flashed as Zalara began to speak. Her voice was gentle but strong. People of Earth, she said, you have shown us something rare. You think freely. You feel deeply. And, most importantly, you listen. The crowd stayed silent, listening. You do not hide your minds, she continued. Even when they are strange, wild, or unsure, that makes you different. That makes you strong. Applause filled the room. Adam stepped forward next, cleared his throat, and spoke into the mic. When Zalara first met me, she saw inside my thoughts. Some of them were silly, some were embarrassing, and some were just plain weird. Laughter echoed around the room, but she didn't run away, he said. She stayed. And she helped me understand something important, our thoughts. Even the strange ones are not something to fear. They are what make us human. He paused, then added, and being human, it turns out, is a pretty good thing. More applause followed, louder this time. After the speeches, the Galactic Peace Accord was signed. The Sci-Fi would open communication stations on Earth to help teach peaceful telepathic practices. Humans would be invited to Sci-Fi learning centers across the galaxy. The Tharnics, while still cautious, agreed to keep peace and watch from a distance. Earth was now part of something much bigger, a shared future among the stars. Outside the Peace Hall, people celebrated. Children waved handmade flags with stars and planets. Artists painted murals of humans and aliens standing together. A new space program was announced, one focused on exploration and unity, not weapons. That evening, Adam and Zalera stood once again on the rooftop of the UN building. Below, music played from nearby parks. Families danced, fireworks colored the sky. Adam looked up and smiled. It's beautiful, isn't it? Zalera nodded. This is the loudest happiness I've ever felt. And yet, it's peaceful. He turned to her. So what happens now? You'll go back to the Sci-Fi. Eventually, she said. But first, I will stay. There is still much to learn. About humans. Zalera smiled. About you. About all of this. She waved her hand toward the stars and cities. I came to study emotions, but I found more. I found connection. Adam chuckled. Well, we do have a lot of feelings. Yes, she agreed, and they're not always easy. But they're honest. They stood in silence for a moment. The stars above twinkled gently. Then Adam asked, You know, when you first read my mind and I panicked, you smirked. Why? Looked at him with a soft expression. Because you didn't try to hide. Most beings build walls. But you were open even when it embarrassed you. It showed strength. Adam smiled. So, me dreaming about chocolate cake during a wedding made you think I was strong? Yes, she said with a grin, because you didn't pretend to be perfect, and you didn't run away. They both laughed quietly. Just then, a bright light crossed the sky. A Sci-Fi ship, flying low to begin building the first galactic communication tower on Earth. Zalera watched it for a moment, then turned to Adam. There's something else, she said. A message from the Sci-Fi Council. Adam raised an eyebrow. Good news. They have decided to share one of our deepest teachings with humanity. What is it? Zalera looked serious. It's called the Path of Shared Minds, a way to build peace between species through telepathic trust. Adam blinked. That sounds intense. It is, she said. But I think you're ready. He sighed. Well, I've already shared some of my weirdest thoughts with you. What's a little more? Zalera smiled. It's not about sharing everything. It's about choosing to understand. She extended her hand. Come, let's begin. Adam took her hand without hesitation as they walked together into the building. Lights from the celebration reflected off the windows. The world below danced. The stars above listened. And between them, two minds, one human, one alien, walked forward. Side by side, no walls, no fear, only understanding, and so. The story of Earth's first true contact ended not with war or warnings, but with trust. HFY.